bossing up on the bosses, a winner's mentality. Just another day at the office, they perpetrators. They ain't doing nothing, these niggas talking, I'm going in. The only thing they going is a coffin. See, I plan, plot, strategize, why they just romanticize. Wanna have it on earth, ain't waiting on the afterlife. They math, they ain't math to right. You know all these rappers lie. Last time I checked, I was the man since drop. Okay, I'm 10 foot tall when I'm standing on business. I'm 10 foot tall when I'm standing on business. I'm 10 foot tall when I'm standing on business. If you a real nigga, maybe you can stand with me. Stand up. Okay, standing on business. Ain't no such thing as limits. You want it, you go and get it. Stand up. Okay, standing on business. If you a real nigga, maybe you can stand with me. Stand up. Okay, I'm 10 foot tall when I'm standing on business. I'm 10 foot tall when I'm standing on business. I'm 10 foot tall when I'm standing on business. If you a real nigga, maybe you can stand with me. Stand up. Okay, standing on business. Ain't no such thing as limits. You want it, you go and get it. Stand up. Okay, standing on business. If you a real nigga, maybe you can stand with me. Focus on the mission, my niggas stand at attention. Everything is in order, no moving without permission. I came up out the trenches with nothing but good intentions. A hustler to go and get it, cause winning is my religion. Destroying my competition, and they don't know what happened to them. Stop achieving our goals and start achieving platinum. Infinity and countless, stay flowing just like a fountain. No doubt I'm betting 1,000. I'm talking about moving mountains. Stay on point like a scale. Only time will tell if the goal ain't about victory. You done already failed. Stop building somebody else's dreams, build it yourself. A grindaholic, my next day off a cold day in hell. Gathered all my dreams, turned them into reality. Steady chasing the green, maximizing my salary. That's food, oh, you niggas ain't eat them empty calories. Raising the bar, setting the standard for niggas after me. Okay, I'm 10 foot tall when I'm standing on business. I'm 10 foot tall when I'm standing on business. I'm 10 foot tall when I'm standing on business. If you a real nigga, maybe you can stand with me. Stand up. Okay, standing on business. Ain't no such thing as limits. You want it, you go and get it. Stand up. Okay, standing on business. If you a real nigga, maybe you can stand with me. We never taking losses. We bossing up on the bosses. A winner's mentality. Just another day at the office. They perpetrators. They ain't doing nothing. These niggas talking. I'm going in. The only thing they going is a coffin. See, I plan, plot, strategize. Why they just romanticize? Wanna have it on earth. Ain't waiting on the afterlife. They math, they ain't math to right. You know all these rappers lie. Last time I checked, I was the man since drop. Okay, I'm 10 foot tall when I'm standing on business. I'm 10 foot tall when I'm standing on business. I'm 10 foot tall when I'm standing on business. If you a real nigga, maybe you can stand with me. Stand up. Okay, standing on business. Ain't no such thing as limits. You want it, you go and get it. Stand up. Okay, standing on business. If you a real nigga, maybe you can stand with me. Stand up.
About to go back live. The general's on his way back in. We're on Cross the Line. Please share the class everywhere so that everybody knows that we're on Cross the Line Radio on YouTube.
Caution.
Shalom, sir.
Clap it up, Akim. We're back. They can't keep a good man down. You better understand that. You ready to rock, Ephraim?
Yes, sir.
So we'll go right back into the tell everybody where we at now, broadcasting from.
We're on Cross the Line Radio on YouTube, sir.
We are on Cross the Line Radio on YouTube, everyone. Let everyone know we are on Cross the Line Radio on YouTube. We're going right back to the question. Where was that precept at?
Ecclesiasticus 26 and 28.
We're going right back to the two things that break a man's heart. The last thing makes him angry. The first thing is a man of war who suffers poverty. Like so many of our veterans over here in America who are living outside, living under a bridge and homeless even though they fought to defend their country in Iraq and Afghanistan, fought to defend their country in Vietnam and Korea. Old men living outside whose country gives no regard to their sacrifice, whose country does not care about what they've given up in the pursuit of another man's liberty. So many black people that came home from fighting in World War II and were brutalized in the South because they fought for America, because they wore an American uniform. Their eyes were beat out of their heads and they were lynched in the South because they came home from World War II. Men like the Harlem Hellfighters, man. Give those brothers a hand. Oh, I mean, the story about the Harlem Hellfighters, I'm shocked that there hasn't been a movie yet about them. I mean, these men were masterful warriors. One man killed 35 Germans. One man. And he took the German. He had no gun. He had a knife and took the Germans' guns as he killed them, used their guns to kill them, all to save some hill that some white man in Washington, D.C. decided that was worth him losing his life for. That's what America does to its veterans. In the kingdom of God, it won't be like that. In the kingdom of God, when Jesus Christ is in charge, it won't be like that. For now, like I was saying earlier, amarse unos a los otros. For now, you support me, I support you. Yo te apoyo y tú me apoyas. You support me, I support you. And we'll get through this poverty, we'll get through this oppression together. But in the kingdom, a man of war, a soldier, will not go hungry. Now read the next one. Ephraim, are you there?
That grieve my heart.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Levi.
There be two things that grieve my heart, and the third maketh me angry.
Mm-hmm.
A man of war that suffereth poverty.
Can I give you one more example of a man of war that suffers poverty, Levi?
Cut out of one card.
Think about all of the women. Right now, you got Pete Hegseth, Homelander. Pete Hegseth, who's in charge of the Department of War because they're so tough. And I think about all of the women that joined the white man's military and were sexually assaulted in the white man's military. And they were complaining, and they were going to the higher ups and to the admiralty and going to the generals in the white man's military complaining because there is an epidemic of sexual assault in the United States military. And do you know what the United States military did? They voted in Donald Trump, who is a convicted sexual assaulter. And then he brought in Pete Hegseth, who made it illegal for a woman to complain when she's sexually assaulted. That's what happens. That's what happens for some woman that decides to risk her life as if she's a man. Join the white man's military. And then when she complains about being sexually assaulted, they pass a law in the military that says, ignore her complaints. Ignore her protests. Give her no access to be able to report someone who sexually assaulted her. This thing grieves the soul of a man of God, a man of war who suffers poverty. Now, these women have to leave the military. They have to leave the military because when they get sexually assaulted, they get drummed out of the military. They're forced to resign, forced to retire. You're going to see the same thing that happened over there in the land of Israel. The exact same thing happened. We'll go into later. This grieves his heart. A man of war who suffers poverty. Keep going. Levi, I can't hear you.
It's like it, sir. And men of understanding that are not set by.
Read it again.
And men of understanding that are not set by.
What is that speaking about? A man who is wise, who is learned, and no one learns from him. A man who is a teacher that has no students. A man who understands, but there is no one that wants to learn. That's a sad thing. That's a sad state of affairs, and that happens in this evil world, where now you have men like brothers in the Israelite school of UPK, you officers of 5,000, you officers of 500, officers of 50. You are learned men. But meanwhile, everyone wants to go to church to watch some sodomite dance, to watch some LGBT closeted preacher jump up and down with a tambourine. When an average young officer in the UPK is far better educated than any preacher in America. Your granddaddy or your uncle who's a bishop knows nothing compared to the young men in the Israelite school of UPK. You should learn from them. You should learn from them. And when you don't, it saddens us. Continue.
Khan, sir. And one that returneth from righteousness to sin.
Now that makes him angry. That one. One that returns from righteousness to sin. Meaning you're living a righteous life, and now you go back to sin. That is when a person leaves the truth. When you've been rescued from all of the peril and danger of this world, the death and destruction that you were delivered from, and then now you go back to it. That doesn't make him sad. That makes him angry. That makes him angry. And that's why brothers in the UPK get so angry about a traidor, about a traitor who leaves the truth and goes back to sin, because it's a terrible thing and it's an insult to the life that you were granted that you did not deserve. Everyone understands?
Sir.
Anything else? Próximo.
Khan, sir. The brother also wanted verse 29, if you would, sir.
Please.
A merchant shall hardly keep himself from doing wrong, and an huckster shall not be freed from sin.
A merchant shall hardly keep himself from doing wrong. Meaning, if you are someone that sells things, you might sell food or chickens or hot dogs or have a food stand or a supermarket, or you're selling sneakers or anything. A merchant is someone who sells anything, right? It's hard not to sin because you will have the temptation to cheat the people out of money. You'll have the temptation to sell them spoiled meat. You have the temptation to tell them that it's silk when really it's a rayon blend. You'll have the temptation to make money, to make your business succeed. Because of that, your strong desire to make your business succeed, you will be tempted to cheat the people who are your customers. So it's hard not to sin if you are a merchant. That's the point. But the Most High God gives us laws in Leviticus about not mingling fabrics and about having a just weight and a just measure to establish an economy in Israel that can be trusted, and an economy that can thrive because it can be trusted. And so you cannot become a huckster if you want to be a merchant, which is what the next verse is about. Read that, the huckster verse.
All right, sir. Yes, sir. And an huckster shall not be freed from sin.
And a huckster shall not be freed from sin. What's a huckster? A huckster is someone who has given himself over to cheating and lying and stealing in business. The word huckster is where the word hustler comes from. Someone that's a hustler. Hold 1 second. Everybody understands? So
yes,
now that you only care about hustling, now, which is what so many of us think that owning a business is, or being an entrepreneur is, being some hustler. It's a terrible and vile thing to be a hustler, man. Why? Because a hustler, a real hustler, is someone that cheats people. It's someone that scams people and sells people cars that are lemons, sells people broken down cars and lies to them because they make money off of fooling people. A con man, a con artist. Those type of people are not allowed in our nation. If you have a business in our nation, it better be upright and upstanding. And every penny that you make, it better be earned, not because you cheated someone. Everyone understands. You good to go here?
I have a question on subject.
Please, you got it.
Salakia, because supplanter is such an unused word in common English, I usually go to synonyms. One of the synonyms for supplanter is a hustler. And sometimes I will explain that it's not anything illegal. It's just a hustler in the sense of I see a way to make my house or myself better, but should I not use it because of what you just explained? Or
No, I'm using it in a different context.
It's
a context of someone it's a negative context as opposed to the context of someone that is just ambitious.
Right, carnal
See
conscience.
my point? Like Jacob was ambitious.
Yes, sir.
He was ambitious because he wanted to be the heir of his father's property, of his father's inheritance.
Carnal conscience.
That's the positive connotation of hustler. Right now, I'm using the negative connotation. Like you don't want to buy a car from a hustler. If somebody says I sell cars, I'm a hustler, you're gonna be like, what? I don't want to buy a car from a hustler. I want to buy a car from an upstanding, upright car salesman.
Right.
I don't buy a car from some goddamn hustler. You get my point? Because he might cheat me. You get the point.
Cancer. The water.
Good to go.
Con with Con, sir. And quick shout out to the other zones joining us.
Let's hear it.
Pittsburgh with us.
All right, Pittsburgh, the bird. Give him a hand, warrior.
Shalom, General.
Officer Come Go On. Out there. Good to see you again, warrior. Chicago. Good to see you, Chicago. What's your name again?
Shalom, General. Officer Keziah Won.
Officer, say it again.
Officer Keziah Won.
Officer Keziah Won. That was Chi-Town. Good to see you, Chi-Town. Here we go, Killeen, Texas. Give Killeen a hand. Say your name, warrior.
Shalom, Lord in Christ, sir. Priest and Officer Tapazar, Killeen, Texas, sir.
Tapazar out of Killeen, Texas. Akim, if you have any questions, please ask them, okay?
And Atlanta also.
And we got Atlanta the Brave out there. I see you, warriors. And give Atlanta a hand. What are your names, officers? You got it, Atlanta. Go ahead and tell the people your names. Your microphone is off. I'll come back to him, Ephraim, all right?
Con. I was also, because Atlanta also had a question, but we'll come back soon.
Okay, whenever they're ready. You got it.
From the comments. Brother asked, Salaki, my Lord, in all your wisdom, why does the Ishman have 9 candlesticks on his menorah instead of 7?
The Jewish man has 9 candles on his candlestick instead of 7. The Bible says there are 7 lamps on the candlestick or the menorah. The Jewish man has 9 because of what the Talmud says. And so he has 7 because, okay, you got the 7 candlesticks and he has 2 extra candlesticks to light the other ones. So he lights the 7 with that one. And so the Talmud increases it to 9 to use the other 2 to light the rest of them. And so that's the logic in the Talmud, but it is not in the Bible. It's from the Talmud. All right. The Talmud is this book that is really more important to our oppressor that calls himself a Jew than the Bible is. It's how he understands the Bible is by reading the Talmud. The Talmud tells him what to do, which is written by Jewish priests in Babylon. I believe that's who wrote the Talmud, or somebody wrote it, a lot later than that. And that is what he actually follows. And so many of his customs that are not biblical, he keeps them because of the Talmud, which is the book that he competes with the Bible. All right. Anything else? Imposters. That's correct. Well said, Yapah Shayar. Imposters.
And Salaki, sir, I always read that they use that one also because they say that they use that one specifically for what they call Hanukkah. Yeah. And so because it has 8 days, they have the 8 candles, the one in the middle.
That's my point. The water for elaborating. Because of Hanukkah lasts for 8 days. So they use the candle to light each one of them. So you got 8 days of Hanukkah, and the extra candle is to light the other 8 for the 8 days of Hanukkah. That is exactly why they have 9 lights on their so-called menorah. Correct, though.
And if I could, on that note, the actual Hanukkah be coming up here on December 14th, and we'll observe it the correct way. The water to you, sir.
The water to you, brother. The actual Hanukkah, the real biblical, authentic Hanukkah is what date?
December 14th.
December 14th. That's Hanukkah or Hanukkah in the Hebrew. All right. Excellent. Well said. Anything else? Sunday, is that the day it's on? Sunday?
That's the day. It's on Sunday the 14th.
Sunday, December 14th. All right, good to go.
And Colleen has a question.
Please, Colleen.
Shalom on Christ, sir. Salakia. Salakia. If I could, sir, I had a question about Matthew chapter 12, verse 41 to 43. My particular question about the verse is the term "rise up in judgment."
Okay. Whenever you're ready.
Kind of a sir. The book of Matthew chapter 12, verse 41. The men of Nineveh shall rise in judgment with this generation and shall condemn it, because they repented at the preaching of Jonas, and behold, a greater than Jonas is here. And then it says, the queen of the south shall rise up in the judgment with this generation and shall condemn it, for she came from the uttermost parts of the earth to hear the wisdom of Solomon, and behold, a greater than Solomon is here.
What's your question in specific, please?
Come, my Lord. The term "rise in judgment." What is that? What is the? I know what he's saying, but what is he actually saying when he says they shall rise up in judgment?
No problem. Rise in judgment means they're going to rebel against you and hate you, right? Because there are other people who would have wished to be in your seat. Other people like Nineveh, the people of Nineveh who were told that they would be destroyed in 40 days. Then God repented of what he said when they repented of their actions. God repented of his judgment of destruction on them. And they thanked the Lord for it. The queen of the south, speaking about the queen of Sheba who came from across the world to learn how to govern her country with the kind of successful wisdom that Solomon was governing his country with. And yet you don't want to learn how to govern your country. Yet you don't want to repent the way that Nineveh repented. And you don't want to learn how to govern the way that the queen of Sheba learned how to govern. So they are going to hate you as well. They're going to hate you. They're going to see that you have an opportunity that they don't have, and you're squandering yours. That's the point.
Cut on one, sir. Is this a regeneration scripture, or is just the principle of that the people that you rule over are going to turn against you because you don't want to learn how to rule properly?
That's it. It's the principle.
Cut on one, sir. The water.
The principle is that these are true Israelites, seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And the people of Nineveh were not. They were not. And the queen of Sheba was not. And yet they still wanted to learn how to govern their country. And they still repented of the Lord. The people of Nineveh, that was around a long time ago. That was before Israelites. That was like, think about the time of Job. You know, it's like during the time of the Adamites, before Abraham and Isaac and Jacob made us a nation. And God still had a seed that were his people in Nineveh, but they weren't Israelites because that story was before Israel. You understand? And they would have wished to have the opportunity that blacks and Hispanics leaders have today. You reject Jesus Christ. And these people went across the world, man, to find him. And you reject him, all for what? Money. All for money. That's the point of it. You understand?
The water, sir.
No problem. Is there anything else?
Sir, Atlanta says they're good now.
All right, Atlanta, whenever you're ready.
Shalom on Christ, sir. We have a trooper in the room that has a question.
All right, trooper, you got it, Doc. What's your name,
Good.
trooper?
All right. Cool. You got the mic?
Good. He Salagi, sir. He's getting the mic, sir.
No problem.
Y'all by Shim Y'all Shah Brakatha, sir.
Y'all by Shim Y'all Shah Brakatha. What's your name, trooper?
Trooper Qatar, sir.
Good to hear from you, Ak. What can I do for you?
Yes, sir. If I could, please. May I get a general breakdown on the book of Luke, chapter 16, verse 22 through 24, sir. Biblical shot.
Absolutely.
The water, sir.
You got it, brother. Someone read it for him? Or he can read it if he would like. I just can't hear him that well. All right.
All right. I'll read it.
Colonel Khan, it's the book of Luke, chapter 16, and verse.
You said starting out.
And verse 22.
Through 24.
And it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried. Verse 23.
Okay, he wants a total breakdown, right? So you need to start from above it. This goes exactly into what I wanted to go into tonight, Ak, about the reason that Mamdani won. All right. Let me give you a framework to understand this parable. Ak. This parable is about the conflict, the eternal conflict between the rich of blacks and Hispanics and the poor of blacks and Hispanics. And so many of us do not know that the rich and the poor are at conflict with each other. So especially poor people. Rich people know it. Rich people know that every day they're terrified that one day poor people will replace them. One day poor people will rise up in anger because of the condition they're being forced to live in. But rich people are aware of it. But so many poor people don't know that they are at war with rich people every day. And poor people don't know that. Poor people think one day they will get to become rich. One day they'll be rich one day. One day if they can cheat and scheme and become enough of a rat and become selfish enough, they also will be rich. They're fools. They don't know. The rich and the poor are at conflict with one another. And this parable is about that. Now just remember that, trooper, as I go to break it down. Now read the parable. Go up above it so you can read the whole parable.
Colonel Khan, you want me to go 2 verses up, sir?
Please.
Colonel Khan, the book of Luke, chapter 16 and verse 20. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at his gate, full of sores.
Okay, you might need one more verse above it. All right, go ahead.
Colonel Khan, verse 19. There was a certain rich man.
There was a certain what?
Rich man.
There was a certain rich man. This man was rich. Go ahead.
Colonel Khan, which was clothed in purple and fine linen.
What kind of clothing did he have on?
Fine linen.
You missed one word before that.
It's like purple, clothed in purple and fine linen.
Can you imagine, trooper? Do you know there's an Israelite group that went and decided to dress just like this rich man? Do you know about that Israelite group, trooper? Can you imagine? The Bible says that this rich man was dressed in purple and fine linen. He was rich, and that's what purple indicates. Purple indicates wealth. Oh, they're so rich. You have so much money. Well, this rich man, that's correct. The IUIC, the purple pigs, cerdos morados, nasty Nate. They haven't even read this scripture. They chose purple because they know it indicates money and being wealthy. Well, the rich man wore purple linen. Purple linen. Keep going.
Colonel Khan. And fared sumptuously every day.
Faring sumptuously means that he ate good every day. He's eating at those fine New York restaurants, to 1-star, 3-star, 3 Michelin star restaurants. Eating well. Eating at restaurants. If you walk by the restaurant, the police will harass you. If you walk outside the door. Atlanta, you got tons of rich people out there too. Tons of rich people in Atlanta driving amazing cars out there in Atlanta, brother. So many rich people. That's what this rich man was. He wore purple linen and he ate good every day. Keep going.
Colonel Khan, verse 20. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus.
And there was another man who was a beggar. He wasn't rich. He didn't wear purple. He wasn't rich. He didn't get to eat good every day. He ate what he could eat. He ate ramen noodles and rice and beans, arroz con dulas. He ate what he had to eat. That's what he ate. That was his meal. Keep going.
Colonel Khan, which was laid at his gate full of sores.
And this poor beggar would lay at the gate of Lazarus's mansion every day with sores all over his body. Sick. Think about what you're suffering in America with no health care. Do you know that you have family members that are dead simply because they did not have insurance? That's why they're dead. They're not dead because they had some disease that had no cure. They're not dead because there was no way to keep them alive. They're dead because the treatment that they needed, they could not afford. That's why your family members are dead, so many of them. And those of you who have been through this know what I'm talking about. That's a sad thing to die in a country where the cure is available. The cure is right there, but you can't afford the cure. So your family, your children have to die. And you wonder why Mexicans and Haitians come over here to America, because they love their children just like you do. And they're willing to break the law of America so that their children can survive illnesses that rich people survive here in America. They're willing to come over to America, legal or another way, because they love their children. That is how this beggar was. He was a beggar laying at the gate of this rich man, laying at his gate, hoping that the rich man might just open the door and bless him with money, bless him with medicine, bless him with mercy and compassion, waiting. And you brothers and sisters, remember that when you see Donald Trump hating the Mexicans, hating the Haitians, hating the Venezuelans and Colombians and Argentinians and the Nicaraguans. He hates the people who are coming to his house simply for aid and help. Simply for aid and help. That was this poor beggar, begging this rich man every day for help. Keep going.
Colonel God, verse 21, and desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table.
It's nothing to him. You telling me you can't give Mexicans jobs and a place to live? You can't give Latinos a crumb while you have so much? Donald Trump is building a goddamn golden palace attached to the White House. He made billions of dollars. He pardoned crypto crooks that he's now in government, that he's now in business with, and makes $10 billion with a crypto crook that he just pardoned from jail. And he's in business with that man right now. You can't give the Mexicans anything. You don't have anything you could give them. You couldn't give them a little plot of land. You couldn't give them a little space to survive and get medicine for their children that they don't have in their own country because you destroyed their country. He's just begging for help from this rich man. Continue.
Colonel Gunn, moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores.
Moreover, as he's laying there outside of this rich man's gate, dogs come and lick his sores. Now, for some of you that might understand this, dogs licking your sores is an old way that poor people would heal their sores. If you were very, very poor, many people would give you leeches. You know what a leech is? A leech is something that sucks your blood. And if you were poor, you can go into a swamp, grab a leech, put it on your sore, your wound, and the leech would suck out, would bleed you. And people thought that that would help. People would also bring dogs in to lick petrified or putrefied wounds. A putrefied wound is a wound that has an infection, because the saliva in a dog's tongue can make the blood coagulate, can stop the wound from leaking. And so if you were poor, you would have a dog lick your sores because it would give you some comfort. It wouldn't heal you, but it might stop the infection. It might give you a better chance. I tell you, black people do the same thing today with what? With herbs. Black people are so poor, you going out and buying sage to cure your problems. You ever hear people do that in Atlanta? Oh yeah, I'm sick as a dog. Yeah, I'm gonna get some ginger ale. I'm gonna get some ginger ale. Yeah, I know you're getting ginger ale because that's all you can afford. But rich people ain't buying no ginger ale like ginger ale cures everything. Rich people are going to see a specialist. They're going to the doctor. But when you're poor, what are you doing? Yeah, I'm sick as hell. I better start chewing on some ginger root. I better get some ginger ale. Give me some other things. Black people think it cures everything. I better give me some cucumbers, man. I need to chop some cucumbers up, mix it with ginger, boil up some of this cranberry tea, get this tea together. Nigga, you're poor. All of your solutions are poor solutions. But white people and rich black people, they're going to see a specialist for the same thing that you go get a cucumber and a ginger root stick to cure. Well, back in the day, people would let Robitussin. How did I forget? Robitussin. You think Robitussin cures HIV? It does not. It does not. Drink black tea, castor oil. Those are all sea moss. I forgot about sea moss. What about that water they was drinking? Alkaline water. Sea moss. Listen, I know where it comes from. Being poor. You don't have any money for a doctor. Peppermint and liquor. Echinacea. I forgot about echinacea. Yeah, well, let me tell you something. A long time ago, people would let a dog lick their wounds because that's all they could afford. That's all. And that's all this poor man could afford. Go ahead.
Come, verse 22. And it came to pass that the beggar died.
And then one day, Trooper, the beggar, was dead because, of course, those dogs licking those wounds are just like sea moss and alkaline water. You're still going to die. It's not going to help you at all, right? So eventually he died. And this rich man never came out to give him any relief at all, not even to give him a crumb. Continue.
Come, and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom.
And when he died, he was carried by the angels into where?
Abraham's bosom.
Into where?
Abraham's bosom.
Into Abraham's bosom. Now remember that for later, Trooper. Keep going.
Come, the rich man also died.
Then later on, the rich man died. Keep going.
Come, and was buried.
And he was buried. Keep going.
Come, verse 23.
You notice
and in hell,
you notice it didn't say in Abraham's bosom, right? The rich man, when he died, he didn't go in Abraham's bosom. He went into the ground. He didn't go into Abraham's bosom. Keep going.
Come, verse 23. And in hell, he lift up his eyes.
Where?
In hell.
In where?
In hell.
This man died. He went into the ground in hell. Now, you need a few precepts to understand this. This is the first thing you need to understand is that this is a parable. And the hell that the Christians taught you about does not exist. And that's not what this is speaking about. The term hell in the Bible denotes a place called Sheol. You want to look up Sheol in your Zondervan Bible dictionary, all right? Your brothers in Atlanta will give it to you. Hell was talking about being in the ground. Hell was a place underground, right? Which is where the myth about hell being in underground came from, because the grave was considered hell. To be in that grave, that was hell, because it was underground. You dug a hole up and you put the body under the ground. The term Sheol is this place where sinners were buried. They were buried underground, and it was a place where you only put a sinner, because he was rejected by his people, and so he got buried in a place called Sheol. That term and that biblical scripture about Sheol combined with Hades from Greek mythology is where you get the Christian concept of hell from. Hell means underground. That's it. So he is underground in this vision. And the rich man and the poor man is where? Keep going.
Come. In hell he lift up his eyes, being in torments, and seeth Abraham afar off.
Being in what?
Being in torments.
In torment. He's suffering. Now he's suffering. Right? And he sees Abraham afar off. And who's in Abraham's bosom? This man. You need this precept too, Trooper. What is in Abraham's bosom? What did Abraham hold dear to him? The covenant that he made with the Lord our God. That was in Abraham's bosom. That is his precious inheritance that he passed down to his sons. It was dear to him. He gave it to his son Isaac. And Isaac, it was precious to him, so he gave it to his son Yashar Allah, or Jacob. He had 12 sons, and we are them, the Israelites, that the Bible gave the inheritance of God to. That is what was in Abraham's bosom. Now, the poor man is living in Abraham's inheritance. Now he rules the world. Now every green tree is his. Now his people are as the sand of the sea. Now he rules the world. Now he's rich. And the poor and the rich man, now he's poor. He's poor now. Now he's suffering the same way the rich man was suffering. Continue. I'm sorry. Oh, now the poor man is being blessed and the rich man is suffering. The tables have turned. Everybody understands. Keep going.
Colonel Khan, and seeth Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom.
You get that? That's how you know this is a metaphor. This is not speaking about going to Christian heaven or being in Christian hell, because this man is sitting in somebody's heart. If it's literal, it's not literal. It's speaking about the covenant that was in Abraham's heart, that now the rich man, because now the poor man is enjoying because he's an Israelite. And that rich Israelite who would not help him, now he's suffering. Now he's in poverty. Continue.
Colonel Khan, verse 24. And he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus that he may dip the tip of his fingers in water.
You hear? He said, Father Abraham, because he is an Israelite. He's the seed of Abraham. He's an Israelite. This is the battle between poor blacks and Latinos and rich blacks and Latinos. And many of you don't know that rich blacks and Latinos are on the side of our oppressor. They're on his side. They're not on our side. The Bible says that the lake of fire is prepared for the devil and his servants. Prepared for the devil and his angels. The white man is the one that the lake of fire is prepared for. And our leaders who got rich while we were being oppressed, the lake of fire is for them too. They're going to join the white man in that lake of fire. Keep going.
Colonel Khan, and cool my tongue.
And do now, just cool my tongue, because now I'm just suffering. Send Lazarus to me. Lazarus now is in prosperity, and I'm suffering. Send Lazarus to me, so he can put some water on my tongue. Now, but remember, Lazarus was laying outside of his gate all those years, and he never gave Lazarus a crumb. But now he wants Lazarus to leave from his prosperous position and come to relieve his suffering. Continue.
Colonel Khan, for I am tormented in this flame.
What is the flame speaking about? That's in the book of Deuteronomy. It's talking about suffering. Suffering. The Bible speaks of the fire of affliction in the book of Deuteronomy. Affliction is fire. It's not literal fire. Otherwise, a person couldn't sit in it, because you burn and become a skeleton and be burned and become dust. It's talking about the spiritual fire of suffering and poverty. Our people are on fire every day. We're suffering, but there's a time coming when the rich are going to be on fire. The rich are going to be suffering and in pain. Keep going.
Colonel Khan, that was the end of what he had. Did you want me to keep going to 25, sir?
Do you need the rest of it, Doc, or is that all you need?
Nah, sir.
Good to go. Next.
Yes, sir. Officer Yadazar has a question.
Can you hear me, one?
Hear you fine.
If I may, I don't want, with your wisdom, sir, if you could help me understand this or even break it down, how I believe the scriptures call them vagabond Jews, Israelites, that our people that will come, study the ISUPK, right? I've seen it quite often since I've been, a trooper in the school. They learn from the ISUPK and they teach what we teach, right? And they supposedly love the Most High, but do not see any need to honor the man that they learn what they go teach the world. And because of it, I've seen so many groups. I think when I was coming up, it was about maybe 7 or 8 that I knew of. Now it's probably hundreds of them out there. Can you help me understand this, sir? Just loving the truth, loving to hear the teaching, going out to teach it, but not knowing how to honor the man that taught them the teaching.
I got you. Okay. First read this vagabond Jew scripture, right? And then give me these other ones that someone else can grab them at the same time. You're going to give me the precept where it says the truth was a song that people love to hear but not to sing. And a song, and the truth is, the word is something that's good to taste but bitter in your stomach. You want those two precepts. But first, I'll show you something about the vagabond Jew precept, all right?
Come out of one con, sir.
Then read it.
Book of Acts, chapter 19, verse 13. Then certain of the vagabond Jews, exorcists, took upon them to call over them which had evil spirits, the name of the Lord Jesus.
You want it? I think you might need one verse above it. Go ahead.
Come out of one con. The book of Acts, chapter 19, verse 12. Verse 11, sir. And God wrought special miracles by the hands of Paul.
So this is at a time where, Paul is out performing miracles. Miracles, the work of which cannot be denied that it came from the Lord God, Yahweh, that sits in heaven. Right? Everyone knows it must be from the Lord because the work was so amazing. Continue.
Verse 12. So that from his body were brought unto the sick handkerchiefs or aprons.
Mm-hmm. So Paul was out healing people, and other people would get healed. Can you hear me out?
I'm
gonna skip down by this part. This is just Paul was out healing people. Someone would grab an apron, like imagine grabbing your garment, or like you have an apron around your waist, right? So because you're working, they would take Paul's apron off and go heal someone with Paul's apron. That's how amazing the work he was doing was. All right. So it's just trying to give you the context of how Paul is doing an amazing work, and everybody knows it comes from God. Everybody understands. Keep going.
And the diseases departed from them, and the evil spirits went out of them. Verse 13. Then certain of the vagabond Jews, exorcists, took upon them.
Exorcists.
Like,
like an exorcism?
Come.
An exorcism is, in essence, these people are hucksters and hustlers. That's the point. An exorcism is when you put your hand on someone's head and say, "Come out of him, that demon. Come out of him." An exorcist is a hustler. It's like a palm reader or someone that talks to the dead. If you ever had the stupidest bitch in the world, you might marry a woman that goes out and believes in palm reading or believes in getting astrology. Or she goes to give all of your hard-earned money to some Romanian woman or some East Indian woman so she can talk to her dead grandmama. You ain't talked to your grandmama enough when she was alive. You ain't gonna see the woman when she was alive. You ain't gonna see her at all. Now that she's dead, you got to pay somebody $500 so you can talk to a dead grandma that you didn't even go see when she was alive. Well, that's an exorcist, meaning these were hustlers. These were scam artists. That's what the Bible means by an exorcist, because they're scamming people, saying that they can cast out evil spirits and they can talk to the dead, but really they're bums, vagabond Jews. They're from the tribe of Judah, but they're not upstanding, upright people from, upper class society. They're hustlers. And so many of these ghetto Latino preachers and black preachers, they're just hustlers, man. That's why they all love Rolls Royces and fancy clothing, because they're pimps. They're just simple pimps. If not for being a preacher, they'd be in jail because of doing some credit card scam or real estate scam. That's all they are. And so now they decided that the new hustle will be preaching. That's my new hustle. Before that, it was real estate deals, doing real estate seminars. How many brothers out there, how many of you are suckers enough to go to those real estate seminars and give somebody $2,000 who says that he makes his money off of real estate, when meanwhile you just gave him $2,000? He makes his money off of you, dummy, not real estate. That's why he's doing real estate seminars. If he was making money from real estate, he'd be doing real estate. He makes his money from telling you how to do real estate. So now you give him $2,000 because he is your preacher. He's your real estate preacher. Or that they used to have some bitches, women would go to, excuse me. Women would go see these women to get them in those schemes for makeup. And what's those schemes, the broads you always had about selling things and Mary Kay or Ponzi schemes, pyramid schemes. Right? That's your preacher. Your preacher is just doing his current hustle. Before that, it was real estate schemes, credit card schemes, all types of seminars that he would pay, people would pay to come hear him talk. And of course, he flows right into his new hustle, which is preaching. And now he buys Rolls Royces because that's what he always bought, fancy cars and fancy clothing and diamond rings. He's a exorcist. Well, some of these bums, Avon, that's correct. Some of these bums who are exorcists, they decide I could really make some money if I could learn Paul's hustle, right? I could really make some cash if I could do it like them. Let me tell you something. You're seeing that right now in the Christian church. The Christian church is looking at the success of Commanding General Yohanan and the Israelite School of UPK, and they're losing suckers. They're losing suckers because of us, because of One West. They're losing suckers. Suckers are getting wise to the Christian hustle because we are giving them wisdom. And before you know it, all of the Christians will decide maybe we need to start getting more masculine. Have you ever seen preachers wearing football jerseys now? You see that, Levi? Look at that preacher in Atlanta at 2018 or 2018 church. You see how he dresses? He doesn't wear a suit and a tie, which is traditional in church. Now he dresses in all black. He wears all black now. Now he's masculine. Now preachers are, dressing like men. I've seen some preachers on the pulpit, they have a weight set. Somebody find a preacher that has a weight set on the pulpit. He got a bench press up there on the pulpit. That is from us because they look at us and they say, man, the Hebrew Israelites, they really know how to draw men in. So now we're going to stop wearing suits and ties. We're going to dress in all black and boots and black t-shirts. And we're going to have lift weights. And we're going to attract men because they all they can think about is hustling people. They don't even know that we're sincere. This is not a hustle. We're not hustling anyone. This is sincere. But in their mind, it's just another way to scam people. Do you understand, Levi?
Con, I don't want con, sir. You mean to tell me they having church academy, sir?
Yes. Listen, the brothers can find it for you. You see preachers, you ever hear of a men's day, a men's conference, right? They have a men's conference where they wear football jerseys and they have weightlifting and, they have a bench press up on the podium. That 28, look at this. Oh, shit, look at this shit. The nigga is trying to dress like me. Now I'm about to change my clothes. Good Lord.
Of course it would be Mike Todd.
Who is Mike Todd?
Oh, you know him, sir. That's the same cat that when last we saw him, he was dressed like a woman. But before that,
with yellow. Yes, yeah.
Smeared it all over the cat's face.
Look at this here. Do you see this? This is what we're reading about, Levi, right here. This is it. This is them saying the Israelites are telling everyone that we're gay. First of all, he damn near did none of those. You got to do better than that, Mike Todd. You see Captain Desire Captain Desire he gonna lay down there and put up them 150s. What does he hold? What does he lift this down for 3 times? 3 reps.
How about that, sir?
Say again.
I think those were 75s.
Oh, fuck, please. 75.
You got the right title.
Do you even lift weights? Do you even lift? Listen, that is what I'm talking about. Like, this is them saying the Hebrew Israelites are taking our men from us. So now we have to do it. We got to lift weights. We got to wear all black. We got it. I mean, this cat is virtually dressed just like us, right there, just now. Dressed just like me today, damn near. Because in his mind, this is how the Israelites are getting all those men to join them. They see our armies of men. They see what we have, and people are bleeding out of that church. And the women are looking at One West saying, what in the hell am I going to church for when every man in church is down low gay? And the women come over here to One West Doc to find a man. And we got them, ladies. Please believe it. We got them over here. You need a man. I don't know what in the hell you're going to church for. Your husband likes boys in church. He likes boys. You better come over here to One West and get yourself set up right. If you got any sense. Well, this is what I'm speaking about, Levi. You understand? All right, keep going.
Took upon them to call over them which had evil spirits.
So now they start calling over people who have evil spirits because they want to cast demons out of people because they think that what Paul is doing, they could do, and they think it would be a great way to make money. That's it. Keep going.
The name of the Lord Jesus, saying.
So they use the same name of the Lord Jesus, the same Jesus that Paul is speaking about, because Paul was famous for healing those people simply from the apron that came off of his waist. Keep going.
Saying, we adjure you by Jesus when Paul preacheth.
We adjure you means like we command you. We're going to command you by the same Jesus that Paul preaches. Keep going.
Verse 14. And there were 7 sons of one Sceva, a Jew and chief of the priests, which did so.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
And the evil spirit answereth and said, Jesus I know, and Paul I know, but who are ye?
Listen, every fake Israelite and every Christian preacher is going to realize that. Like they think that what we're doing is some act that they can mimic. Now we lift weights in the UPK. We train. We have a Hebrew academy. We physically train. And they think they can just wear all black, lift weights, and now men will come to them. That's not how it works. That's not that. God is with us. We're sincere. We're not pretending to be this. This is not an act. You understand? This is how we are. This is what we believe. You are pretending to be us, wearing all black and lifting weights, hoping that you might get more male followers in your church. And so you think you can do what we do. We command you to come out by the same Jesus that Paul speaks about. That's the Jesus we're talking about, the same one. So we're commanding that the demon comes out in the name of the same Jesus that Paul speaks about. Go ahead.
Verse 16. And the man in whom the evil spirit was leaped on them and overcame them.
And then before you know it, this man who they were trying to cast the demon out of them, this man whooped their ass up. Gave them a stern, old school Brooklyn ass whooping up. Y'all young brothers don't know, Brooklyn was famous for whooping people's ass back in the day, robbing them, ripping the lead patch off their jeans. Ask your uncles about that in Brooklyn. They ripped the lead. Brothers would wear lead patches on their jeans. Somebody from Brooklyn would rip the damn lead patch off your jeans as a trophy. They were famous for robbing people in Brooklyn, not famous for it. Just known to just rob everybody, beat everybody to death, and rob them if you came to Brooklyn from another borough. They gave you a Brooklyn ass whooping up. That's what happened to these two cats down there, bro. That's what happened to these people who were trying to, thought that what Paul was doing was a hustle. It wasn't. You can't do what we do. Now, that's enough for that. Now, to Levi's question, when you read about the vagabond Jews, you should not think fake Israelite groups. It's too high for them. You understand? A fake Israelite group is such a small little thing. It's not important. It's not you should think Christians. You should think preachers. If you want to understand fake Israelite groups, a better precept is the ones I gave you. The reason that fake Israelites exist, the purple pigs of the IUIC, the different random little fake Israelite groups that are on your timeline because you look at them. So now these things will always be on your timeline, right? These little Israelite groups really don't join the UPK, though they love what we teach. They mimic what we teach. They won't join us because living our lifestyle is just too hard for them. They cannot do that. They can't have the kind of structure that we have, the kind of discipline that we have. And we are men without measure. No one could measure up to us, and it is extremely difficult to live the kind of ordered, disciplined, courageous life that a man in the Israelite school of UPK lives. So instead, they watch our videos, mimic it, and they don't have to have officers over them making sure that they uphold our standard. That's the reason. That's why those other precepts would be more appropriate to them. Now, can you use the vagabond Jew precept? Absolutely. You'll see them get their ass whooped all the time on videos. You'll see terrible things happen to them because they try to do what we do, but they're not sincere and God is not with them. But more accurate is they like what we say, but they don't like our order, the order that we're in, the structure that we're in. That's why Nasty Nate left the Israelite School of UPK, started another group, and then left that group and started the IUIC because he can't be under any structure that doesn't allow him to love African women. His wife is an African. He married an African woman, Bishop Nate, and he loves that stinking African. And we're telling him that Africans are not our people, but he loves her. And he can't structure himself to put himself in order. In the UPK, you're not allowed to love whatever you want. Right. You're not allowed to eat whatever you want. You are not allowed to have sex with the one you want to have sex with. Not in here. You're not allowed to raise your children the way you want to in here. Not in here. You're in the wrong place. Not in this house. In this house, so many of you want to raise your children by beating them with extension cords, by starving them. You want to beat your wife. You want to do all kinds of cruelty to some child. Why? Because that's how you grew up. That's what your father did to you. And then we're telling you, you are not allowed to raise your children the way you want to in here. You're not going to abuse your children in here. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. So when a man hears that, he goes, I don't want no man telling me what to do. I'll just take everything they taught me and start my own Israelite group. Bishop Nate of the IUIC is gay. He's a homosexual man. He's gay, and we're speaking against homosexuality. And he's married to an African woman, and we are against marrying outside of our nation. He has to leave.
Sir.
So he can be free to do what he wants to do. He just takes enough of our knowledge to pretend he's us. But before you know it, that Bishop Nasty Nate is going to catch HIV/AIDS if he doesn't already have it. And that African will be mourning a dead, closeted gay man. And he'll wish in his last days that he kept our structure, that he kept our rules. Our rules are what keep men alive. You're not allowed to be free to have sex with whoever you want to in here. You're not allowed to be free to eat whatever you want. You're not allowed to be free to love whoever you want. You're not allowed to hate who you want in here. You might want to hate another brother because you just hate him and you can't stand him and you think he's an evil brother. We don't give you the choice on who you decide to hate in here. You're going to hate who you're told to hate. You're going to love who you're told to love. And so many men cannot have that kind of authority in their life because they're terrible sons. And a terrible son will always hate his father. You understand? So those other precepts, I got to move on, Levi. But those other precepts, I would use them when you like the truth in your mouth, but it's sour in your stomach. You can't go through what you have to go through to put it in you. You like to sing, you like to hear it, but singing, it's like a song that you love to hear, but you don't want to play the song, but you love to hear the song. You get my point, Levi?
Con out of one con, the water, sir.
All right.
Salaki, sir.
Go ahead.
Salaki, sir, I had a question on subject. I know I talked you about a simpleton, not Nasty Nate, another simpleton who's going around saying that if you eat idol food, you're actually conjuring a demon. So that's why Paul was wrong. If I could get a verse or two that shows that birthday cake is not magical, like I know automatically Jeremiah 10 like literally cuts him to shreds, and like why are we talking about this? But is there another? I know I also had given you the top of 1 Corinthians, which says the Most High is the only power. Like, is there any others that really just cut him?
Okay. I would have to have him define what is idol's food.
So
I don't know who this is. Ibaya told me about some cat that was with that the cat that likes to dildos in his butt. Forget his name.
Salakia? Salakia. Yeah, Khan. Gorilla. But what's it called? This is the other cat, the cat who was under him.
The cat under him. Pause. Say pause after you say under.
Salakia.
Under Sakari. Yikes. Well, okay, he's saying if you eat idol food, it's a sin. That's why Paul was wrong when he said, yeah, you can eat idols food because the God don't exist that this food is given to.
Right.
God don't even exist at all. Brother, so many times I've seen candy sitting. Now do not, before I tell you all this story, do not do this, okay?
Right.
Do not do what I'm about to tell you. Does everybody understand?
Yes. But
when I was young in the truth, before Commandant General Yohana was in charge of the entire nation, it was some rough brothers in this school. Okay, now, one time we were in a Chinese restaurant. We were in a Chinese restaurant, and you know how Chinese restaurants they got a cat, like a golden cat.
Right.
It's like a Buddha.
Yeah.
It's like a cat, a big golden cat sitting up there like a panda bear.
Your arm goes, yeah.
Right. And the cat had candy.
Right.
Like it's like candy that they give to the cat. And this is supposed to bless the restaurant. So the cat has all types of candy sitting right there on a little tray that's supposed to be candy for the golden cat god. Right? Brother, we walked into this restaurant one time. And this cat, this brother who was over us, he walked in and said, give me 4 chicken wings. And he just starts eating the candy. He just took the candy from the cat and eating it. And because he's over us, we all joined in and we all just grabbed the candy and started eating the cat's candy. And this Chinese man damn near had a stroke. He had a stroke because this was offered to his God. And I'll never forget, the brother was like, why? Why can't we eat it? He can't eat it.
Oh, shot.
He can't. You think that cat can't eat? Why can't he just kept eating it? Why can't we eat it? That God can't eat it. Why can't we? And we was laughing. Now don't do this, all right? But we absolutely did do it. Okay, we absolutely took all that candy from that God and just ate it right there. And they were so mad. They still sold us those 4 chicken wings and fried rice a piece. Right. They still did that, and they were livid about it. And I remember the brother saying, why? He can't eat it. Yeah, there is no food that a God can eat.
Right.
So eat it because he can't. Do you think who in the hell is going to eat this food if I don't? This God who you're giving it to can't. Yeah. So I have to ask the cat who was under Sakari. I'd have to ask him, what is food given to God? What are you even talking about? Because that's virtually everything that is eaten.
Khan, if I may say.
Everything in a Chinese restaurant is given to that God. That's his. Right. Which is why he's sitting right there blessing the restaurant.
Right.
He's sitting there. And the cat who owns Chick-fil-A is an devout Christian, and that's why they're closed on Sunday.
Right.
Every piece of chicken in Chick-fil-A is dedicated to his Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. So I don't know what that's all I can do for you. Okay.
Right.
You have to first give me what is his definition of that? I really don't give a damn anyway. So I don't.
Right. Like I don't even understand, because like the main thing of my whole thing is you're supposed to be in the truth. Shouldn't you know about the scripture where the evil spirits went to the Most High and not you? Like who taught you? Oh, Asalaki, a guy who got
likes dildos in his butt. He sat there learning from a man who was going home every night, getting a dildo in his rectum where the sun does not shine. And what he's going to teach me that Paul is wrong? He didn't know that Sakari was wrong. He didn't know. Paul was around 2,000 years ago. He knows that Paul is wrong. He don't know. He's sitting next to Sakari. You couldn't see the way Sakari was when he would sit down that his butt was sore. You couldn't tell Sakari was sitting on a sore butt. But yet you can tell that the Apostle Paul is wrong 2,000 years ago. But you didn't see how gingerly, you didn't see how gingerly Sakari would sit down. You ain't see he had a butt pad to sit down on every night. You ain't see he had to sit down so gingerly because he was sore in the backside. You didn't notice that Sakari was getting his backside wailed on every night, but you know about the Apostle Paul. I got to move on. I'm just going to move on. Forget I've heard about any of this. Is there anything else?
Khan, so like you said, that scripture would probably be Jeremiah 10, right?
Yeah, that's a good one. There's 1,000. I would go where Paul talked about it. What Paul said. The God don't exist. So how could this food be dedicated to him? It don't exist. It's food. It's just food. And it's for people to eat. So their God it doesn't even exist. He's not going to eat it. Do you understand? He can't eat it. So I'm going to because he can't. And that's that.
Somebody said they're gonna go get some food and free candy.
I knew I shouldn't have said anything. Go ahead, please.
Shout out to the $4.99 super chat from a brother whose name I cannot say out loud.
My apologies.
He said, as a AAA driver, would selling a battery for less to a member be a hustler or a thief?
Would selling a battery for less?
I think he's trying to say, like, if he was selling it to a member of the school, if he gave them a discount, would he be?
That's doing the right thing, brother. That's exactly what you need to be doing. That is not cheating them. Now, cheating them would be when you sell it for more. For more money, then now you're cheating them. Right? Cheating, hustling is when you cheat people and then they're angry with you because you cheated them. And now we can't come together as a people because we can't trust each other. But giving a brother a good deal, man, is going to make them know that you're a good businessman. And they're going to come back to you for more deals time and time again. That's the right thing to do, brother. No, you're correct. Anything else?
If I may, sir. Shameless plug out of one. Yatazar Apparel is giving all the deal right now. If you want Yatazar Apparel, it's the time to get it. Make sure hit me up directly.
Come on, you heard that, Akim. Yatazar Apparel. The deals are hot. They're hot at Yatazar Apparel. You better come on in. Everybody's rocking those jackets all over the world. I see them. Everybody, you better come on in and get to Yatazar Apparel. The deals are hot right now, and it will not last. You better hurry up now. The water, next.
Yes, sir. And there's some great questions left, but we do have to get into your topics.
No problem, Mark. Your choice, always.
I would implore brothers and sisters to get them into the chat early next week.
Most High in Christ. We'll do it. Also, next week, Lord allow, I will be in Harlem. Next week, I'll be in Harlem in the flesh. In Harlem, New York, you'll see me next week. Akim, Lord allow. It is my absolute desire and plan to get down there next week out into the class in Harlem. So we'll try to put some extra time ahead to answer any questions that I did not answer tonight. All right?
Yes, sir.
You got it up.
Yes, sir. Clip is going around that Edomites are losing their mind over with Shannon Sharp.
The white family that found the white family that purchased the first black wood of my bloodline off the slave ships in Charleston.
Yep, that's what we came off of.
If I wanted to today, I could find the white wood descendants in southern Georgia and pull up on a fucking house. One day I will.
Yeah.
They ain't got no money though. I Zillowed they crib. They broke. Like, yeah. That's the thing we don't talk about with slavery, man, is that there's a lot of white people fumbled. Like, yo.
They fumbled the bag.
Yeah, you had working for you still couldn't come up. How you broke and you had slaves?
Yeah, that was valuable. That was gold.
They fumbled, bro.
That's Code Shannon to get $50 in lineups after you play your first.
Yeah. Now, Ephraim, you're saying this video now. What is the reaction of white people to this video?
Oh, they think he's a violent thug for saying that he would roll up on their house, and they're calling him a stalker for looking up his crib.
What? Let me tell you, brother. Ephraim, you know what I see on the internet all the time is people who hate black women, right? Speaking about how black women do not want to be accountable. You ever hear that before, Ephraim?
Yes, sir.
How black women hate accountability. And every time I see it, I go, are you telling me you have never noticed that the people that cannot stand accountability is white people? Right. People hate accountability. The key to getting loved by white people is to become a black or a Latino who will completely free white people from any accountability at all. White people hate accountability. The brother is talking about the people who owned his grandfather. And it shows you how slavery is so recent. Slavery is a recent thing. My great grandmother, her grandmother was a slave. She was a slave. I knew my great grandmother. Captain Taha War took care of my great grandmother. Captain Taha War did. He took care of my great grandmother. Her grandmother was a slave. There are people like Commanding General Yohana, where his grandmother a slave. She's a slave. That's how recent slavery is. And if you simply talk about it and talk about what happened to your people, white people will get angry about it. If you zelo the house of the family who owned your grandmother, they get angry. White people, you hate accountability. That's your problem. You don't want any accountability. You want to steal and murder and kill and then wipe your mouth and act like it never happened. And you think that black people who give you the liberty of no accountability are good black people. He's just talking about the fact that his grandfather was a slave, his grandmother was a slave, and the people that own them are still around, and they're poor, which means that they were also incompetent on top of being enslavers. That's it. There's nothing to worry about. It's just a little taste of accountability, and you better eat that little taste because more is coming. More is coming. Next story.
Yes, sir. On that topic, this brother, the father of that child, DJ Daniels, who went viral for dressing up like a police officer, and then Donald Trump honored him, stood outside the polling place on election day and had this confrontation with some random black woman.
All right.
Oh, lock it, sir. I thought I had it ready.
No problem.
StreamYard is giving me some issues with that one, saying the video is too short.
Take your time. Go to another one. We can get that next if you want.
Okay. We've got this clip with Kanye West. This afternoon, this was posted. Kanye West met with a rabbi.
Really blessed to be able to sit here with you today and just take accountability. I was dealing with some various issues, dealing with bipolar also. So it would take the ideas I had and have me take them to an extreme where I would forget about the protection of the people around me and myself. So I wanted to come and take accountability. Sometimes people aren't that knowledgeable about the bipolar and the cause or what causes it and the way you act when you have this disease. So it's like if you left the house and you left your kid at the house and your kid went and messed up the kitchen and messed up the garage and messed up the living room. Now when you get back, it's your responsibility because that's your child. And that's the way I look at it. It's like I gotta go clean up the kitchen, I gotta clean up the living room, I gotta clean up the garage.
That's enough.
Yeah, and it's a big deal for me.
If you ever wanted to understand white privilege, understand that video we just watched. Kanye West just said that I have bipolar disorder, and it was like I didn't care about my safety or the people around me. Why is he bringing up his safety or the people around him? Because he knows by speaking against these Jewish people, he has destroyed his own safety and the people around him. And he has hurt his family by speaking against them. Let me tell you something. The Bible says that the rich man's money is his defense. Rich people don't need to be brave or bold or smart. Their money defends them. Because Kanye West is going to make his children poor. His children will be poor. The rich man can just sit back and wait for Kanye West to come crawling home to grovel and hold his hand and beg for mercy. Because if Kanye West doesn't do it, him and the people around him will not be safe. The rich man's money is his defense, but God is the defense of the poor.
Right.
God defends the poor man. That's what you're seeing happening with Kanye West. He, of course, was going to come and plead, I have bipolar disorder. Forgive me. I should have been thinking. I shouldn't have put myself in danger by talking about you. I shouldn't have put my children in danger by talking about you. Bipolar disorder made me do something that put my family in danger. Please forgive me. It's like when you leave your children at home and they wreck the house. I let my mouth ruin my home. And now my children aren't going to be able to eat. Now my wife is not going to have a home to live in because I made you angry. And them as rich people can sit back and know that their money means that they will have no enemies because of their money. But just remember this, rich men, God is the defense of the poor. God defends us. You remember that because the time of the poor's defense is coming. The time when God will defend the poor is coming. That's why Mamdani won that election. Because Mamdani realized something that so many of you do not realize who sit in power in New York City over the synagogues and over the churches and over the rich halls in New York and the skyscrapers. You've grown so greedy that you have to have every penny. And the rent and the mortgage rate is so high that people with jobs are living outside. People who have jobs are living outside. And nothing will ever stop you. You'll never say, well, let's control the rent. Let's try to find some way, since we've made $1 trillion, maybe we can give the poor a crumb. Maybe we can freeze the rent, freeze the amount of money that people pay. You're not even allowed to freeze the rent in New York. You can't. Because they have to constantly and perpetually make more money no matter how much they have. And because of that, you know that people will come beg you when you are displeased. They'll come and beg you. And that's why Kanye West is begging that Jewish man. Let me tell you something, rabbis. One day you're going to beg for forgiveness for the people that lived in your slumlord apartment buildings. For the people that lived in all of those apartment buildings in Brooklyn and in Harlem and in the Bronx and in Queens, when they have rats in their building and they're paying you $3,000 every month. And they can't even get you on the phone to get the rats out of their apartment. One day you're going to beg them. One day. Keep going.
Con, sir. I've got that other video that I mentioned.
She's got a nasty attitude.
You have a nasty one too. You were on my car for what?
Because you don't know how to drive? Is that what the
Because
problem is?
I don't know how to drive. You were stopped in the middle of a lane with no signals on. With no signals
You're a
on.
typical stereotypical black woman that nobody likes to deal with.
Okay.
Okay, you are a Jasmine Crockett type.
Okay.
And look at you. Look at you.
Yeah, he said I'm Jasmine Crockett
You're
type.
Jasmine Crockett type.
Got
All
it.
that nasty masculinity needs to go.
Got it.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Anything you want to say, that's fine. Anything you want to say to
Anything else?
Go ahead. I don't really care.
Anything else?
Yeah.
This is insane for anybody to be wrong.
Hear that last part he said. What's that last thing he said? She ain't got no
nasty attitude. She ain't got no
For anybody to be wrong.
Can you hear that, Ephraim?
I couldn't really hear it.
For anybody to be.
She ain't got no what? Edges? Oh, so y'all just say things as edges.
That's nasty. Let me tell you something. Like that just goes to the heart of all of these black Republicans and black conservatives that hate themselves. Like he hates black women. And when in the hell did white women become so feminine?
Right.
The hell he's talking about. What do you think? You never heard of Karens in your life? You think black women are masculine? Well, what was the woman that had Emmett Till murdered? What was she? White women have been getting black men hung from trees for 200 years. Black men have been hanging from trees because some white woman was so masculine that she had to get a black man hung simply because she didn't want her husband to find out that she wanted to have sex with that black man.
Right.
There is no woman more masculine, more disgusting than white women. Because you get in an argument with a black woman over a traffic stop, you think that equals how many white women got black men hung from trees in history? Virtually every race war, every race massacre was started out of the mouth of a white woman. Every last one. And you go do the research on all of them. All of them started because some white woman lied and said she was raped. Some white woman lied and said somebody whistled at her. Someone looked at her. And now the white men come in and kill all the black men because some white woman got them killed. There is no one more disgusting, more masculine than white women. Men like him are just hateful of black women, completely hateful of them because they cannot match their spirit. A black woman absolutely sometimes has a mouth and argues. What woman doesn't? White women don't argue with anybody. A white woman doesn't take you to divorce court and take all half of your money. A white woman doesn't get you shot by the police. A white woman doesn't get you hung from a tree. You just hate black women and you're not even willing to argue with them, but you'll be hung by a white woman. The Scottsboro brothers, that's correct. Rosewood, that's correct. Black women, listen, I know a lot of black men in the world, they're afraid of you. Latino women, how many years have you heard that Latino women are going to stab you? You ever hear that before, Ephraim?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's a famous thing. Whenever somebody talks about a Latino woman, they say, oh, you can't marry a Latino woman. She has a knife. She's going to pull a knife on you and stab you. Oh, you can't marry a black woman. She loves to fight. So do I. I love to fight too. So what? I love to fight. Let's fight then. No problem with me. Right now, if you some emasculine man, you can't argue with a black or Latino woman. You can't argue with her. It's too much. You'd rather be lynched from a white woman's family. You rather let your white woman take half your money in court, even though she was a stripper when you met her, and now she'll take half your money. Oh, because you can't argue with a black or Latino woman? Argue with her. That's all. It's damn sure better than being lynched by some white woman's family. Pray you understand.
Sir, what's funny is that every time I've heard Jasmine Crockett come up in front of anybody in this school, we always say the same thing. Send that sister to a brother in this school, and we'll put her right in line.
I wasn't gonna say nothing about that Jasmine Crockett. Now you're making me.
Salakia, sir. Khan, sir. Yeah, listen, sir. I did an interview in Dallas.
You know. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sir, I did an interview in Dallas, and I said, Jasmine, find me.
Brother, let me tell you another one that can get it. Is that Otisio Cortez? What's her name? The one out there in the Bronx.
Edomite husband, sir.
Oh,
yeah. Look at Salakia, same with Candace Owens.
Oh, Candace Owens, I don't know about her, but that Jasmine Crockett, listen, seems like she's in need of direction.
You're right.
Jasmine Crockett just need leadership in her life. Huh? That's all. That's all she need. A little guidance. That's all she needs, bro. I think you're right, Captain Tazariak. Well said. All right. Anything else?
Salaki, sir.
Go ahead, bro.
Salaki, I don't know. I highly doubt you keep up with these two, but there's these two big Republicans, mainly one, Officer Tatum. I know you're probably familiar with Nick Fuentes. Yeah. No, Officer Tatum.
Of course, I know him.
Khan. So this week he had a whole big spiel against Tucker Carlson for interviewing Nick Fuentes. Come to find out, I didn't check the comments, but supposedly his comment section is turning against him and finally showing their true racist colors. And he's shocked because basically he didn't want, because he's saying now Nick Fuentes is openly racist against Black people, but people are calling him out and says, no, you're a BB puppet, as in you just shill for Netanyahu, so that's the only reason you're mad. Well, and basically his own audience is calling him an N-word in his comments.
Well, let me tell you, see if Ephraim can find this video. Nick Fuentes, who is an out-and-out white supremacist, calls people the N-word. Nick, I want you to look up him and Donald Trump and see Donald Trump sitting at a dinner with Nick Fuentes. Officer Tatum is saying Nick Fuentes is racist and he's evil. Nick Fuentes met with Donald Trump and had dinner with Donald Trump. Nick Fuentes, he's one of Donald Trump's best friends. How in the hell can you support Donald Trump and think that Nick Fuentes is racist when Nick Fuentes was invited to the inauguration and had dinner with the president? Has Officer Tatum had dinner with the president? Hell no. Nick Fuentes was 24 years old. He had dinner with the president. The president is a racist. He is a racist. Him and Nick Fuentes believe in the same thing. All you do is Google Nick Fuentes having dinner with Donald Trump. So if you know Nick Fuentes is a racist, then isn't Donald Trump also? He brought him to the White House and sat down and had dinner with the man. Officer Tatum needs to battle Captain Tazariak. That's what he needs to do. Y'all brothers need to be, all of you go on Officer Tatum's, inbox him, email Officer Tatum, and tell him that he needs to interview Captain Tazariak. That's what he needs to do. He needs to do that. And maybe this can be an awakening for Officer Tatum, because he is so much of a stinking traidor that he didn't know that white people truly hated him. He didn't realize. He didn't know that. But now he's knowing what we all know, and he should absolutely interview Captain Tazariak so he can explain himself and explain his position.
One last thing, since you mentioned him getting invited to dinner with Trump, Tatum got mad because he wasn't invited to Charlie Kirk's memorial.
Of course he wasn't invited to Charlie Kirk's memorial. He's Black. And that is a white supremacist group. Read that right there, what you had.
Donald Trump dined with white nationalist and Holocaust denier Nick Fuentes.
Yeah, so now imagine being Officer Tatum, like, you can't talk to Nick Fuentes, Tucker Carlson. That's so Donald Trump talked with him. Donald Trump ate dinner with him. You mad at Tucker Carlson for meeting with him? Donald Trump ate dinner with him after he won the White House. Donald Trump is a white supremacist. Why in the hell are you supporting Donald Trump if you don't support Nick Fuentes? They all hate you. everybody go to Officer Tatum's inbox and email him and tell him that he needs to interview Captain Tazar. Y'all can have him on the show. All right. Keep going, Ephraim.
Kind, sir. And a couple of people are asking in the comments about Kanye and the rabbi. I'm not sure if they just joined us, but if they go back and watch later, we just covered that.
We just covered Kanye and the rabbi. You better get in class earlier, man. Let's go. Keep going. We got a few more to do. We got to wrap it up across the line.
Yes, sir. Real quick, Captain Debarmath got a shout out from his employer in the world for this incredible act. Let me just play the video.
Let me ask you a question. How old are you?
Oh, this Captain the Bar had, man. For those of you that don't know, they had what I believe that it's called the Silver Alert. Am I right about that, people?
Yes, sir.
I believe it's called the Silver Alert. Some 72-year-old man was missing. His family is looking for him. They put out a Silver Alert in Milwaukee looking for this old man who's missing. All of a sudden, Captain Debarmath is driving the bus. He's a bus driver. The man walks on the bus. Captain DeBar recognizes him, which I would have never recognized him. I wouldn't even have looked at him. Captain Tazar is looking for this, Captain Debarmath is looking for this old man and recognizes the old man from the Silver Alert that an old man is missing. Sees this old man, and saves that old man's life. Well done, Captain Debarmath out of Milwaukee. Good job. Well done. Good job. Bien dicho. Bien hecho, Salakia. Bien hecho. Well done, Captain Debarmath. Keep going.
Yes, sir.
Of Israel's most senior military legal officials have been arrested over the leak of a video allegedly showing Israeli soldiers physically and sexually abusing a Palestinian prisoner. Former military advocate General Yifat Tomer Yerushalayim and the IDF's former chief prosecutor Matan Solomesh were detained last night on suspicion of leaking the footage and then allegedly trying to cover it up. She resigned from her post on Friday, saying she took full responsibility for the leak.
Do you understand what happened in the land of Israel? In the so-called land of Israel, they're bombing and destroying the Palestinian people. The top-ranking Israeli general, who is a woman, she had in her hands video that the soldiers in Palestine were raping the men, were raping them, sexually assaulting them, raping the men. She had the video. And she released the video to the press. And the inspector general, meaning the head lawyer for the military, helped her to leak this video to the press. And she's the one arrested. She got arrested. Her. The men, the Jewish men who raped the Palestinian men, they did not get arrested. But the woman who told everyone, the woman who released it to the press, she got arrested for leaking classified footage. She's in jail. And let me tell you something. That goes right to the kind of things that are also happening in the American military. This woman, so many women in the white man's military, they've been sexually assaulted. They've been drinking late at night with their comrades. They've been in some faraway country, and they are sexually assaulted by fellow soldiers, sometimes by superiors. And when they go to tell someone, they're told to shut their mouths, and if they keep opening their mouth, they're going to be kicked out of the military. This woman in Israel, she is a woman that was sensitive to being sexually assaulted. sensitive to it. And I wonder why she was. I wonder why it affected her so deeply that these Palestinian men were being sodomized by the Israeli armed forces. So much so that she risked her career to expose it. And everyone should understand the lesson of it, man. Like, there is a reason that the people in power need to oppress you. And the reason is so primal. It's so basic that they need to have a people that they can hurt. And simply having the oppressor-oppressed dynamic makes them feel like they have control of your life, of your food, of your employment, and of your body. And that is what they want. These people are raping the men in Palestine. Now, I want you to, for a second, think about what it's been like for us over here for 200 years. Think about what it's like for us over here in America. Now you might really understand why ICE agents are invading our neighborhoods. They're not invading our neighborhoods to stop crime. They're not invading our neighborhoods to stop the drug cartels. They're invading our neighborhoods because they get a release. They get such joy from snatching the babies out of your arms. It is a primal desire of a primitive people that they need to hurt someone, and it is sexually exciting to them to hurt you. Give me more videos. Give me the one, give me anyone.
Difficult client was Leona Helmsley, and when they call her the Queen of Mean, that's an insult to every mean.
You might not know this woman. This is a woman named Leona Helmsley, right? She was, when I was young, she was famous in New York. You know who was famous in New York? Leona Helmsley and Donald Trump. They were famous for being rich in New York. This is the reason that Mamdani won. All through my young childhood, I remember this picture. Here's a picture of Donald Trump, Leona Helmsley, and Donald Trump's father, who was a famous real estate tycoon in New York. And these people were famous all over the country because everyone looked at New York and Manhattan because of the skyscrapers and the wealth. And they would think about Leona Helmsley and the Trump family. And these two are best friends. Now, I want to tell you a story about Leona Helmsley to tell you the kind of people that have been ruling New York. They're the same kind of people that are now invading Palestine. Go ahead and read it. Play the video.
Difficult client was Leona Helmsley, and when they call her the Queen of Mean, that's an insult to every mean person. She was so much worse than that. This is a woman who got great pleasure out of hurting people. I stopped talking to her, even though I represented her. I stopped talking to her when I was sitting with her at the Park Lane Hotel having breakfast, and they brought me a cup of tea, and a little bit of the liquid dripped over the cup onto the saucer. She saw it. I didn't even notice it. She grabbed the saucer and the cup, threw it on the marble floor. It broke into a dozen pieces. And she said to the young waiter, "Now get on your hands and knees and beg me for my job." And I got up and I said, "Leona, I will never speak to you again. I will never be in the same room with you again. I'll be in court with you. I'll defend you to the best of my ability, but you are not my friend, and you're not somebody who I have any admiration for."
Donald Trump's best friend, along with Jeffrey Epstein. She was at a restaurant with a famous lawyer, Dershowitz. And she gets a teacup, a cup of tea, and they serve the tea on a saucer. A little bit of the tea from the cup spilled on the saucer. She took the entire thing and threw it on the floor, and then told the woman who served her the tea, "Now get down on your hands and knees and beg me for your job." What I need everyone out there to understand is this. When people heard about Donald Trump's campaign to be president, and they heard about his talk about building a wall and mass deportations, white people got so excited to see people in pain, to see people hurting. They wanted this. What you're seeing on your phone that's making you sick, white people voted for that. They enjoy it. They enjoy it. They enjoy seeing your grandbaby crying as she gets ripped out of your arms. This week, they went into a preschool and arrested a preschool teacher in front of the babies snatched her out of class in front of the babies. And they enjoy it, just like they enjoy raping the Palestinian men because they have power over them. Schadenfreude. Give that priest a hand because I totally forgot. Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude is the pleasure that people get from inflicting pain on other people. Schadenfreude is how Donald Trump got elected. And so, and I can tell that so many of you don't know it. You're seeing these ICE raids and you're thinking, well, Donald Trump said he was going to stop crime. Donald Trump said he cared about crime. Give me Bill Barr speaking to someone in the mafia. Donald Trump sending ICE agents into the ghettos and barrios has nothing to do with crime at all. It is about hurting people and receiving pleasure from hurting people. This is Bill Barr. He's a famous person on TV. He is right now interviewing a famous mafia rat. This cat was a captain in the Colombo crime family of New York. He made $4 million a year. $4 million a year on one scam. One scam. It was a gasoline scam where he cheated the government out of taxes. You cannot become a member of the mafia without murdering someone. Sammy the Bull Gravano murdered 19 people. He did 3 years in jail because he was a rat and ratted on his friends. And he did 3 years in jail and he killed 19 people. Now I want you to hear Bill Maher talk about the mafia who killed John F. Kennedy, killed a president. One mafia member has killed 32 people, 19 people, 18 people. The amount of murder that the mafia has committed, you cannot exaggerate the number. It is that big. It is a gigantic number. They control the construction industry in New York. They control all of the buildings, the windows being put in every project apartment. They control every drop of cement in New York, the mafia. And I want you to hear about how Bill Maher talks about an actual criminal organization in New York. Go ahead and play it.
Love America. I mean, Michael Corleone, when he has to go testify, you know, he's a war hero. He was,
Bill, let me tell you this. I was indicted 7 times.
Again, play from the beginning.
They really do love America. I mean, Michael Corleone, when he has to go testify, you know, he's a war hero. He was,
Bill, let me tell you this. I was indicted 7 times. I had 2 federal racketeering cases and a state racketeering case, and I love America. And at one time, I hated the FBI and I hated the government. I grew up hating them because I love my dad, and they were, you know, constantly harassing him, in my view.
The mafia loves America. They love America. But the Crips and the Bloods and Latino gang members, they're animals. They need to be exterminated. You need to shoot them in boats. Donald Trump is killing the people from the sky for being in speedboats without having any trial. The people coming from what country are they coming from? Venezuela. Venezuelan speedboats. Donald Trump has murdered about 40 speedboats, killed everyone on about 40 speedboats, saying that they're bringing drugs into the country. They've had no trial. No court system has determined them to be drug dealers. And of course, the penalty for selling drugs is not to be killed by the military. Donald Trump just kills them. But yet the Italian mafia, they love America. They're patriots. Even though they've murdered 32 people apiece, 19 people apiece, destroyed the economy of New York. All the prices are high in New York, mainly because of greed, and also because of the greed of the mafia, who have to get paid off of every drop of cement in New York. But they are treated like heroes and patriots. They don't care about stopping crime, or else why didn't they bring the military into New York to stop the mafia? Is that how they stopped the mafia? Did they bring the National Guard into Little Italy to kill the mafia? Did they shoot them from the sky? Did they kill them as they're drinking espresso, sitting out in front of some coffee shop in Bensonhurst and Staten Island, they didn't use the military to stop the mafia. They stopped the mafia with the RICO statute and with rats, just like this rat sitting on Bill Maher's couch. A bunch of snitches and rats and the RICO law. And they destroyed the mafia. Wiped the mafia out. The mafia now is doing card games with NBA players. That's what they're doing now.
Right.
So why didn't they use the military? Why didn't they send tanks into Little Italy to snatch Italian men out of their grandmother's spaghetti pots? Why didn't they do that? Because they're humans in their eyes, and they don't get any pleasure from hurting them. You don't get more pleasure from a white man than when he's hurting a Latino, than when he's hurting a black person. That's how they derive pleasure and joy and happiness, and they voted in Donald Trump to do it. That's why Mamdani won, because men like Donald Trump and his father and Leona Helmsley are so greedy and so sick that now when people hear about someone that might give them a crumb, black people and Latinos in New York are so excited about free buses. That is sad as it can be. That's sad. We're talking about a place where you have people in New York with $1 trillion sitting in that city. I mean, $1 trillion, not $1 billion. $1 trillion. I didn't even know $1 trillion was a real number until about 10 years ago. $1 trillion. They're in New York. And black people, Mamdani said, I will make the buses free. Blacks and Latinos said, hallelujah. For free bus fare? That's how poor we are. That's a crumb. That's nothing. That's nothing. I mean, I don't even know why the people who own the jobs don't just pay for all the buses. Why don't the people at Amazon just give you a bus pass? Why don't the people at all these companies just give you, because you're coming to work to make them trillionaires. So why don't they just give you a bus pass? Seeing that by you getting to work every day, you're going to make them $1 trillion, and all you're going to get is enough money to buy a bus pass and get back to work next week. Why don't they just hand it to you? Because it's nothing to them. They have $1 trillion. This is why Mamdani won, because there's people like Leona Helmsley and Donald Trump who are throwing tea glasses on the ground and making you grovel. And if somebody just promises you $3 a day in bus fare, brother, thank the Lord for it. Thank the Most High for it. We are a people bought and paid for, slaves, suffering and dying, begging for a crumb. And all I want to let everybody out there know is that there is a time coming when amor vencerá al odio, when love will conquer hate. I know right now all we want is for someone to give us a bus pass so we can get to work to buy another bus pass. That's all we want. I know that's what we want. But there is a time coming when love will conquer hate, and when the people that we beg are going to beg us. To get to that place, to get to that time, we have to change our lives. Right. We have to become better people. We have to give up marijuana and cigarettes and alcoholism and sexual deviance. We have to turn to each other. Amarse unos a los otros. We have to love one another. We're going to have to stand by each other's side. We're going to have to do it. And if we're willing to do it, if we're willing to take care of one another, one day the people that we beg will beg us. Pray you understand. Was there anything else?
Yes, sir. There's one more video. And if I could, of course, that's such a crazy proposal, because every other mayor and candidate just sends out teams of undercover agents to issue $70 fines for brothers and sisters who couldn't pay the $290.
Go ahead, let me hear.
This is the Republican candidate for Mayor Curtis Sliwa on ICE.
ICE in the city? ICE is already in the city. If they're going after gang members, drug dealers, narco terrorists, sex traffickers, absolutely. When they were revived, when Trump beat Harris, that's what they were doing initially. Yes. And then someone in Washington imposed a quota of 3,000 arrests a day. And I have some former guardian angels who are ICE agents who told me, Curtis, this pressure to make X number of collars a day is making us go after people who are lining up in a Home Depot parking lot for day labor, who are working in restaurants where they're vital, they're essential workers. Without them, you'll see a lot of restaurants close. I can guarantee you this: I got 3 sons. None of them are going to do that work.
That is Curtis Lewa, who's an idiot, and
Right.
he was in charge of the Guardian Angels in New York. First of all, you should see, he said, I have former Guardian Angels who are now ICE agents. That's why they're wearing masks.
Right.
Because those ICE agents are a bunch of hired thugs. That's all they are. These are not people who are educated, who have been trained. These are bounty hunters. That's all. They went out and just took every bounty hunter and made him an ICE agent. And that is who ICE agents are. People who used to just be guardian angels and thugs and beat people up outside of clubs. Now they are ICE agents. That's it. Hired thugs. And they're telling you why, the real reason that Latinos are being harassed. Because there is a quota. There's a quota by ICE agents to make 3,000 arrests a day. 3,000 a day. Who else had that quota? Rudolph Giuliani.
Right.
Giuliani had something called stop and frisk. And stop and frisk was when a police officer, by the end of the month, had to have a certain amount of arrests. He had to have them. He lost his job if he didn't have them. So now he has to run out and harass every Black and Latino. Why? Because if you need to make these arrests, you can't harass the kind of people that can pay for lawyers. You can't harass the kind of people where it could be some political repercussions. You have to harass the people that can't afford a lawyer because you're going to harass him for nothing. The case is not going to be strong. So he's going to beat the case if he has a lawyer. So you have to harass someone who has no money, a 14-year-old who's standing outside of his building, children, kids, people who are poor in the projects, in the Bronx, in Harlem, in Brooklyn, in Queens. Because you have to make a number. Because the entire stop and frisk movement was about money. That was it. It was about money. Now we know what the ICE agents are and why they're in your ghettos. Money. That's it. They're being told that you have to make 3,000 arrests a day. So they don't give a damn who they are. They don't care if they're grade school teachers, if they're teaching in a daycare center, if they're standing in front of Home Depot, if they're essential workers in the restaurant business. They don't care because they have a number that they have to make, 3,000 a day. The Bible says this: the love of money is the root of all evil. Every evil act that you see. If you go to search, you will find that the basis of it is money. That's the point. Because if they really wanted to stop crime in New York, all you need is the RICO statute and rats. And there's enough of them everywhere, especially in the mafia. The mafia is nothing but the entire mafia is a bunch of rats.
Right.
And snitches. Well, with enough snitches, you can stop any criminal organization with snitches and rats. That's it. You don't need tanks. The tanks are in your neighborhoods because it emboldens Donald Trump supporters. It makes them feel good about being Americans when they see that the military is being used to beat up on Latinos and Black people and Haitians. And they make money from it. They make money from doing it. That is why Mamdani won. Because you have been under the oppression of greedy people for so many years. They're so greedy that you voted a mayor in who would just give you $3 a day in bus fare. That's it. That's all he had to do, is give you something that should cost nothing, because by going to work, you're making someone a billionaire. But he promised you $3 off on the bus fare. And when you're poor and being ruled over by such greedy people, you thank the Lord for free bus fare. You thank the Most High for that. Greed, the increase of greed, the overflowing amount of greed is why they elected an Arab socialist to be president. I mean, to be mayor of New York, because when you're already being oppressed by racists, what in the hell do you care if he's a socialist? Who gives a damn? A racist is already kicking my back in so he can make a quota, so he can get paid more money. What difference does it make whether he's a socialist? Who gives a damn about any of that garbage? I need to get to work, and it costs $3.
Right.
Is there anyone that could help me? We are an oppressed people. The overflowing of oppression is why Mamdani won, because he promised a people poor and destroyed that they might be able to get to work. They might be able to get there. All I want you to know is this: for a little while, yo te apoyo y tú me apoyas. I support you, you support me. We make it out here together. We come together. We pool our resources. We find ways to help each other. We do the best we can. And one day, the people that we beg will beg us. Everyone understands. Was there anything else?
Sir, and on that note of everything you said, there's an image going viral today showing that the demographic that voted for Zoran Mamdani with the highest percentage was black men.
Forget about it. And that it also shows you that that's another myth that white people always push, like black men don't want to go to work. Like black men don't have, I don't know who is talking that garbage that I constantly hear, that black men are on welfare and not going to work. Damn near every black man in the world is an Uber driver. Every last one. They're all driving Uber. Why? Because no black man will just sit home and not make any goddamn money. The minute they came up with Uber driving, every black man in the world said, I'm doing it. I'm doing Uber driving. If there's some job I can have to make a few dollars, I'm doing it. Right. Because we're not a people that we are industrious. We're a people that will work. And there's been the greatest myth in the world that black and Latino men don't want to go out and earn money. That's some myth taught by white people who want an excuse to exterminate us in our neighborhoods, who want an excuse for race riots and race wars, who want to kill us and exterminate us. So they say, well, they don't want to work. They don't want to work. If they don't want to work, why in the hell is Uber all over the goddamn planet Earth?
Right.
You're all over the planet Earth, ride shares, because every black man who didn't have a job, who couldn't get one for whatever reason, said, I'm going to drive Uber. I'm doing something. Why did they vote for Mamdani? Because Mamdani said, I will make buses free so you can get to work. I will do it. And black men and Hispanic men who want to go to work voted for him. I can't blame them. Why in the hell do you care about socialism when racism is kicking in your door every goddamn day? Why the hell would you care? All of the lies that white people tell you about yourself, you have to stop believing. You are not a lazy people. You are not a criminal. Right. You are not a people who are born to commit crime and to live a life of excess and of indulgence. That is true of your oppressor. But it is not true. It is not true of you. It is not true of you. And one day you're going to rule the world. One day these people who you think are nothing are going to be your lords. One day that's going to happen.
Damn right.
Donald Johnson. If I may,
come on.
Salakia, like we said, we're a race of righteous hustlers.
Thank you. Give him a hand. A race of righteous hustlers. Well said, Unc. Well said.
And shout out Fool to Wise with the $10 super chat. And on that note,
good job with the $10 super chat. Well done, brother. How we looking here, Ephraim?
Yes, sir. That's everything. If everybody that tunes in to Cross the Line at 10, on note of everything you just said, we're going to find out who the real welfare kings and queens are.
Well said. Bien dicho. Bien dicho. Well said. With that, please get it on. Let's pass it over to headquarters, brother. Stand by for Cross the Line. Get it on, Akim. The water, Pittsburgh. The water for coming through. Did anyone of you need to say anything? Pittsburgh, Chicago,
Wow, sir.
Say good to go. Most High in Christ, good to see you, Akim. See you next week in Harlem, headquarters. All right?
Yes, sir.
You got it, headquarters, the water.
Yes, sir. Pass the class to Officer Abaja.
Time Trace. Clap it up. I imagine, which means to stand. I imagine. It's like we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. I imagine Shabbat. I imagine Barak. Yahweh Shem Yahshua Rakhtah.
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Rakhtah.
Yajim Atah, hands down. Saw, which means turn face to sisters. Manifest, I imagine Shabbat. I imagine Barak. Yajim Batah, hands down, dismiss.